Good evening, and thank you so much for joining us for your local coronavirus update. I'm Jordan Fremstead. The doctors leading the nation's coronavirus response are warning this could be the worst week yet. More than 337,000 cases of coronavirus have been reported in the U.S., and more than 9,600 people have died. Elise Preston reports from New York City, the nation's pandemic epicenter.
Inside this Brooklyn hospital, 80% of the patients here are being treated for COVID-19, some requiring intubation the second they arrive. Doctors say this man in his early 50s had no underlying conditions and is requiring 100% oxygen to keep his lungs inflated.
Old people, young people, people are dying from this. It is lethal.
The hospital staff is not immune and in some cases not fully protected. We saw nurses wearing trash bags to protect their scrubs, use sanitizing wipes to clean themselves as they work, and a doctor wearing ski goggles. New York's governor says the state may be close to reaching its apex or may have already reached a plateau, but it is just the beginning for other states. Louisiana is expected to open a 1,000-bed makeshift hospital inside the New Orleans Convention Center, a day after the state experienced its largest single-day uptick in deaths. Texas officials are now stopping people coming in from Louisiana, asking for documentation on where they're going, and if they're staying, they must self-quarantine for 14 days. And in Largo, Maryland, the community is mourning 27-year-old Leilani Jordan, a grocery store employee. Her mother took these photos of her daughter's hospital room before she passed away.
When they got her, she had 104 fever. And they put her in isolation, and she called me. She says, "Mommy, I can barely breathe."
Jordan's mother says instead of leaving work when the outbreak began, she only wanted to help people more. Elise Preston, CBS News, New York.
A New York City councilman says one of their contingency plans is temporary burials in New York City parks if the number of deaths goes beyond what the medical examiner's office can handle. President Trump says he thinks doctors should use the drug hydroxychloroquine to treat patients who have tested positive, but the doctors leading the coronavirus task force are advising people to slow down.
There have been cases that show there may be an effect, and there are others to show there's no effect. So I think in terms of science, I don't think we could definitively say it works.
A new report from the U.S. Department of Health says that thermometers, disinfectants, cleaning supplies, and toilet paper, the president says the government is sending supplies.
Many more fully loaded cargo planes are right now on the way. 3 big ones landed today. And these supplies are being distributed directly to the hospitals and healthcare providers all across the nation.
The report says many of the supplies already delivered were out of date or defective, and it adds hospitals reported that changing and sometimes inconsistent guidance from federal, state, and local authorities posed challenges and confused hospitals and the public. British Prime Minister Boris Johnson is in the hospital as he continues to suffer from coronavirus symptoms 10 days after being diagnosed. Johnson, who has been quarantined since March 26th, is the first head of government known to be stricken with the virus. In Iowa, the state's Department of Public Health is now reporting 946 cases in the state. There have also been 25 deaths. 1 new case is being reported in Allamakee County, bringing their total up to 18 cases. Minnesota is now reporting nearly 1,000 positive cases in the state. There have been 30 deaths in the state as well. Sauer Health Care in Winona is among the senior living or other long-term care homes where residents or staffers have tested positive for COVID-19. That's according to a list of 32 facilities released by the Minnesota Department of Health. In a statement on Facebook, Sauer Healthcare said 2 residents have tested positive and said, "We are working closely with the residents' physicians. We appreciate the guidance and support from the Minnesota Department of Health." The number of confirmed cases in Wisconsin continues to rise. There are more than 2,300 in the state and 75 deaths. More than half of those deaths are in Milwaukee County. More than 600 people have been hospitalized. That's about 28% of the positive cases. There are no new cases in La Crosse County. Well, plenty of people in our area are rallying to help others, and we would like to hear about your stories. Just go to news8000.com and search helpers in the search bar at the top of the homepage. That's how you can find out how you can share your stories of helping with us. We want to thank you so much for joining us for this coronavirus update, and you can always get the latest information anytime on our website at news8000.com or download our mobile app. We hope you can join us tonight. Take care.